They lied to you. Your whole life you were told that God is something outside of you, a being far away, judging your every move. But what if the greatest lie ever told is that you're separate from the divine? Sounds insane, right? That's exactly why it's true, because the most powerful truth is always the one hiding in plain sight. You've been chasing blessings, praying for signs, asking for permission to be powerful, when the real power has always been you. You are not a mistake. You are not a limited creature trying to reach God. You are God, experiencing himself through awareness, through this moment, through you. And the moment you accept that, not as an idea, but as your truth, everything changes. The mind won't like this. It'll resist, argue, and throw fear your way. But your awareness knows. It's always known. The peace you've been seeking is not at the top of a mountain or the end of a ritual. It's in the silence behind your thoughts. You don't need to become anything. You need to remember. And in this remembering, your real life finally begins. 1. The illusion of separation. Most people spend their whole life believing they're separate from something greater, from God, from others, from the universe. It's like walking around with blinders on, thinking we're just this name, this job, this body. The mind loves to label and divide, making everything seem like it's me versus the world. That illusion keeps people stuck in survival mode, chasing validation, success, or peace outside themselves. But deep down, there's always been a quiet sense that something's missing. That whisper is awareness calling. It's wild how quickly the mind builds a fake identity. From childhood, people hear who they should be, how they should act, what's acceptable or not. That creates a mask, not to protect, but to disconnect. The mind becomes obsessed with control, terrified of the unknown, and when it doesn't know who it truly is, it clings to roles, achievements, or pain. But none of that is your real self. It's just the noise that covers the divine truth. Ever watch someone get angry in traffic and scream like it's life or death? That's the mind taking over, convincing them that they're right and separate from the rest. But they're yelling at a reflection of themselves, unaware it's all one field of energy. When someone awakens even a little, they stop taking that chaos so seriously. They laugh more, they pause before reacting, they start to feel that maybe, just maybe, we're not so disconnected after all. Try something simple. Spend 5 minutes a day in silence, no phone, no music, just sit and be. Watch how fast the mind jumps in to fill the space. That discomfort? It's the illusion cracking. Awareness begins in the quiet. It's in that stillness where the next realization begins to rise. Maybe you're not the voice in your head at all. Maybe you're the one hearing it. 2. You are not the mind. You are the awareness. People get so caught up in their thoughts that they forget one simple thing. They're not the thoughts. Thoughts come and go like passing clouds, but the sky stays. That sky is awareness. The mind wants to convince you that you are your emotions, your opinions, your past. But behind every fear, every belief, and every reaction, there's a silent witness. That witness doesn't judge, it just sees. Think about it. One moment you're happy, next minute you're stressed, then you're fine again after a snack. If you were your emotions, you'd be a mess 24/7. But something in you watches all of that, right? That's not the mind. It's the awareness. It's the same presence that's been with you since childhood, unchanged, just observing everything your human self experiences. That's your real identity. Not the chaos, but the calm behind it. You can test this. The next time you feel overwhelmed, don't fight it. Sit back and say, wow, look at what the mind's doing right now. Just that shift from being in the storm to watching the storm changes everything. You're no longer trapped. You're free. That's awareness waking up. And once that switch flips, you'll never see life the same way again. Because now you know you're the one observing, not the one reacting. This is where most spiritual practices begin to make sense. Meditation, journaling, even walking in nature. They all help create space between you and the noise. They're tools, not goals. What matters is who's using them. And who's using them is not a lost mind looking for peace. It's awareness, remembering it never left peace in the first place. That presence has always been with you, quietly pointing towards something much deeper still. 3. The divine witness within. There's a reason why every ancient teaching points back to one truth. God isn't out there in the sky. God's right here, as the silent witness behind your eyes. Most people have been taught to look up, to beg, to feel unworthy, but the divine doesn't play hide and seek. That presence, that still awareness behind your thoughts, is the divine truth. It's been watching your whole life unfold without judgment, without needing anything. You felt it before, in those quiet moments when time stands still, or when you suddenly feel peace for no reason. That's not random. That's the divine witness. It's the awareness that sees without reacting, that hears the mind's stories without buying into them. The eternal soul isn't something you earn. It's what you are before the world told you who to be. This awareness is the spark of God breathing through your human experience. Imagine watching a movie, fully aware it's just a movie. You enjoy the drama, but you don't get lost in it. That's how awareness works. The mind pulls you into every little scene, but the divine witness watches the whole film. You can train yourself to live like that, calmly present, not needing to control everything. Start by asking yourself, who is noticing this thought? That simple question starts to break the illusion. This is why silence is sacred. Not because it's empty, but because it's full of presence. When you're in awareness, you're not reacting to life. You're communing with it. This is the beginning of living as the divine, not chasing it. And the more time you spend in that witnessing state, the more you start to see how the mind plays its tricks, especially the ones that keep you from that inner power waiting to be reclaimed. 4. How the mind keeps you in the illusion. The mind's a master storyteller, but it's got a twisted sense of humor. It'll spin a drama out of nothing and convince you it's real. It feeds off fear, comparison, and doubt like fuel. You start wondering if you're good enough, smart enough, spiritual enough, and boom, you're stuck in the illusion again. The mind creates problems just so it can feel important, trying to fix them. Meanwhile, awareness just watches and smiles. Have you noticed how quickly the mind jumps to conclusions? One missed text, and suddenly your friend hates you. One failure, and you're a worthless human. But none of those stories are true. They're just noise. The ego uses them to create separation. I'm this, you're that. I'm right, you're wrong. And the more we believe those narratives, the more we disconnect from our divine truth. It's like playing a game with the rules all made up by fear. If you want to see how strong the illusion is, try sitting still for 10 minutes. No distractions, just awareness. The mind will go nuts. It hates not being in control. It'll throw old memories, future worries, even random jingles at you. That's because silence exposes the ego. It reveals how much of your suffering isn't real. It's manufactured by a mind terrified of not being needed. But once you catch it in the act, everything changes. Here's a tip. When the mind starts spiraling, don't argue with it, just name it. There's fear, there's control, there's the not enough story again. That naming brings space. And in that space, awareness can breathe. That's when the illusion starts to crack and you begin to feel something deeper waking up. Something that was never afraid, never lacking, never separate. Something ready to remember who it really is. 5. Reclaiming your divine power. Most people think awakening means fixing themselves, healing every wound, perfecting every flaw. But here's the twist. You don't need to be fixed. You were never broken. The real path is remembering. You're not a struggling human trying to reach God. You're awareness, pretending to be small for a while. And when you stop identifying with the mind's false limits, you begin to reclaim a power that was always yours. Picture this. You've been wearing a costume for years, thinking it's who you are. You've played the role of the doubter, the overthinker, the one who's not ready yet. But when you stop feeding that role, it falls off. Underneath is the eternal soul, confident, loving, powerful. Reclaiming your divine power isn't about becoming something new. It's about unbecoming what you're not. That's where real transformation starts. Try this practical shift. Next time you catch yourself saying, "I can't" or "I'm not ready," stop and say, "That's just the mind talking." Then ask, what would awareness do? It might rest. It might speak the truth. It might take bold action without needing to be perfect. That tiny moment of choice, from mind to awareness, is the spark of liberation. And every time you choose it, you remember a little more of who you truly are. This is how the inner mage is born, not through rituals or robes, but through radical honesty and conscious presence. You walk into a room and bring clarity. You speak less, but your words carry power. People feel something different around you, not because you're better, but because you've remembered. And the deeper this remembering goes, the more you stop reacting and start observing with a stillness that's anything but passive. 6. The practice of detachment and observation. Here's where things get practical and powerful. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop clinging. When you observe the mind instead of reacting to it, you reclaim your awareness. The goal isn't to control your thoughts. That's the mind trying to fix the mind. The goal is to watch without attachment. You become the one sitting in the audience, not the one getting punched in the ring. Let's say you get triggered. Someone says something that pushes your buttons. The usual response? React, defend, attack, withdraw. But the next time that happens, pause and observe. Notice the sensation in your chest. Notice the thought that says, "They're disrespecting me." Don't fight it. Just see it. That moment of seeing is the awakening. It's your eternal soul saying, "I'm here. I see everything." That's not weakness. That's real strength. Want to train this skill? Start with micro moments. Washing the dishes? Observe your mind while you do it. Driving in traffic? Notice how quickly the ego wants to win. These daily situations are your spiritual gym. And if you fall back into reaction mode, no problem. Just observe that too. The point isn't to be perfect. It's to keep coming back to awareness. That's the daily work of a conscious life. Eventually, you begin to feel something strange. Peace, not because life is easy, but because you're not chained to every emotion or thought. You're free to feel everything without being consumed by it. That space is sacred. And the more you stay there, the more you begin to live not just as someone practicing spirituality, but as someone who is the divine in motion, expressing God's presence in real time. 7. Living as God in human form. Living as God in human form isn't about walking on water or glowing in the dark. It's way more grounded than that. It's showing up in the present moment with full awareness, with peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. It's answering life, not with reaction, but with clarity. You're not trying to act spiritual. You're simply not hiding your real self anymore. That quiet presence you feel? That's divine truth embodied. Think of someone like that. Someone who's calm in chaos, kind without needing recognition, powerful without needing control. They don't need to prove anything. Why? Because they remember who they are. When you live from awareness, you're not trying to be loving. You are love. Your words carry weight. Your silence speaks louder than noise. And you stop living on autopilot because your eternal soul is now behind the wheel. You don't have to move to the mountains or become a monk. You can live as the divine right here, in the meetings, at the grocery store, with your kids, with your partner. It's about bringing awareness into everything. For example, try speaking only when you feel deeply present. Watch how people respond. It's not what you say, it's the energy behind it. That's living as God, not louder, not busier, just real, clear, and unshakably present. This level of living isn't about ego at all. It's about embodiment. It's when awareness is so stable that even challenges become invitations to stay conscious. You're not chasing miracles, you are the miracle. And the more you live like this, the more life aligns itself with you. Not because you control it, but because you've stopped resisting. And in that surrender, something ancient and powerful begins to awaken, moment by moment. 8. The constant remembering, becoming the inner mage. Awakening isn't a one-time event. It's not a flash of light followed by a perfect life. It's a daily remembering, one that happens between coffee sips, arguments, quiet walks, and yes, even setbacks. The inner mage isn't someone who arrived. He's someone who remembers again and again that he's not the mind. He's awareness. He's the divine witnessing it all, choosing presence instead of patterns. You'll forget. That's part of it. One moment you're fully aware, and the next you're yelling at your phone for freezing. But the inner mage catches it. He chuckles, breathes, and remembers. Ah, there's the mind again. That's power. Not in perfection, but in perception. It's not about never falling. It's about falling with awareness and getting up faster each time. That rhythm becomes your new way of life. Want to deepen this remembering? Make it a ritual. Each morning ask yourself, what would awareness choose today? That question sets your tone. Carry a reminder with you. A ring, a bracelet, a word on your phone, something that pulls you back to presence. At night, review your day. Where was I aware? Where did I sleep? Not to judge, but to remember. That's how the mage sharpens his power, silently, consistently, and over time, something shifts. Life becomes less about effort and more about alignment. You no longer seek your power outside. You embody it. The world doesn't define you. Your awareness does. You're not here to be controlled by the illusion. You're here to shape it because you're not the creation. You're the one who creates. And that changes everything. If you want to elevate your vibrations and manifest with more ease, I have prepared something special for you. Click the link in the first pinned comment and join us in the journey of awakening your inner mage.